Hey everybody, welcome to Mattman, your source for all things professional wrestling. I'm Andrew Zarin. I'm joined by my sandwich king, Rich Stambolia.
Give me that big sandwich, baby. I
You
love
like
it.
my Press 195 shirt?
I do. Do you have a shift there after the show?
I'm doing their deliveries now. I get really drunk and I go out and I start doing the deliveries.
When are we gonna do the show from there?
We could do it this week. The problem is every time we schedule it, there's something happening.
We should do it in 2 weeks, early in the morning, so we beat.
I'm not here.
Oh, when are you going to England?
I'm going to Manchester on the 3rd.
Of June.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or the 4th or the 4th.
June.
So I'm going to be there I'm leaving the 4th. I'm going to be there on the 5th, like the time zone difference.
Nice.
So next week we could do it, next Thursday.
Yeah, we got to do it early though, like really early.
What do you have Thursday?
I got a thing at 2:00.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do it early.
Cool.
10 o'clock. 9:30, 10. Something like that.
9:30.
Yeah.
That's good.
Guys, we have so much to talk about, obviously. Double or Nothing. Starcast is happening. I actually have to order Starcast, like now,
Yeah.
and watch it. I'm binging.
Like right now?
I told my wife that I need to be left alone
Mhm.
today. Like, she gets home like around 2:30. I'm like, I
Yeah.
need to see everything that's happening.
Right.
So I'm going to lock myself in my bedroom
Mhm.
and get a little bit of wine,
Mhm.
partake in some other stuff.
Let's be honest. A lot of bit of wine.
A lot of bit of wine, maybe a little tootski, and then
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna watch Conrad.
Rub it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch
Before.
Conrad all day.
Yeah.
That's my goal. I'm gonna watch Double or Nothing tomorrow, hopefully, and then I'm gonna watch Starcast today. Are you watching Starcast?
No.
No.
I just want to watch Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
I got so much
So much going on.
I think it's interesting because this time of year, like we both have families, and there's so much family stuff going on.
Oh, tremendous.
Plus, a big congrats to my wife. She just graduated from.
She's a doctor now.
She's a doctor now.
We're both married to doctors.
Yeah, how
and
cool
we're
is that?
both shitheads.
Yes, that is true.
That I find that the most amazing thing. Both our wives are very educated doctors.
Well, they were probably like, we got to take care of these guys at some point. So
that's why.
but so like that stuff, and then birthdays, weddings, christening, like all this stuff is going on. So I just want to. I did the same thing to my wife. I was like, listen. I know we have our nephew's birthday on Saturday. I need to get out of there at some point and watch wrestling. And she was like, fine, do whatever you got to do. And I was like, I will.
We do have a lot to talk about, obviously. Where do you want to begin? You want to talk about...
Let's talk about the Saudi Supers now.
We do have to talk about that. So Brock Lesnar showed up on the pay-per-view. Let's sum that up.
That's what I'm...
The Money in the Bank. Brock Lesnar shows up, climbs the ladder, takes the briefcase.
I think one of us said it on the show last week.
I don't know who said it.
I think it may have been me. I think it might have been like Brock Lesnar's going to show up.
Yeah, and climb the ladder and get it. And I think I said, I just want to see him climb a ladder.
That is true. And he did.
And he did.
Both our dreams came true.
Both our dreams came true.
Like Perlo Tours.
I actually do not hate it.
Okay.
I do not hate that Brock Lesnar has the briefcase.
Uh-huh.
I think it adds serious heat to whatever match you're going to put against whoever the champion is. I really think it should be Kofi, and I think he should be the one that beats Kofi.
Really?
I personally want to see that.
You want to see Brock?
I want to see Brock
take a bite
demolish
out of Kofi.
Yeah.
All right. I don't. But I feel like
I don't know why. I'm not saying I have anything against Kofi.
100%. I agree with that 100%.
The visual is appealing to me. I find it funny.
I'm tired of the Seth Brock thing, to be honest. But I do think, imagine if he cashes in, Kofi beats him.
No, that's phenomenal.
Also, my personal thing is that I'm like, it's cool that this happened, but I also feel like it's 3 years too late. Like, imagine if he did that 3 years ago.
If Brock won the Money in the Bank 3 years ago,
as a big shocker, or 4 years ago.
Yeah, that would have been even bigger. Yeah,
it's amazing, But now it's like, okay, do you think I'm going to ask you something? I'm going to turn to the internet for 10 minutes. Do you think WWE at this point is trolling fans because I've honestly never seen so much hate between the Brock thing and that 24/7 title?
Okay,
in 2 days, in the span of a day.
We'll talk about that too.
We'll
talk about that too. So this is something that was said to me a while ago, and I think I brought it up on the show. The difference is WWE, the way that they look at heat for a heel. They don't see it as, I don't like you because I think this is a terrible concept. Mm-hmm. They see it as, you don't like it. You're reacting to it. If you didn't really like it, there would be no reaction.
Right.
So they're kind of they're weird.
People are gonna hate watch this.
They're gonna hate watch it, and to be honest, this is part of the big problem, right? And I got a lot of criticism for being very critical of the internet fandom.
Right? Yes, I know. I
Right?
saw the letter.
And you saw the letter. I gave him a response. I'm waiting for a response back. I actually want to hear back from him.
Was it who asked you, Chode?
Yeah. I gave him a nice response back, and it was like I answered it, and at the end I was like, what I find funny is that you're arguing my point back to me.
Right.
So I don't know like how to do it. So when WWE sees criticism, it's so much, right? Like you don't see who's saying like I hate it and why. All you're seeing is I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. Good and bad.
Right.
So it kind of blurs when you hate everything. When you hate everything, it no longer matters. Yeah. I hate the women's segment on the third hour. I hate the main event. And I'm not saying this is everybody, but
a lot of people.
Imagine WWE gauging on social media and seeing what's an important thing to dislike and what's not an important thing to dislike. Right. The way they justify it is, well, they're going to hate anything. If we brought Stone Cold Steve Austin here and he beat Brock Lesnar and then he dropped the title to Daniel Bryan,
right?
Everybody was still hated, no matter it's the most out of control, mind-boggling concept that they put together.
I don't want to see a part-timer beat another part-timer
and then get beat by Daniel Bryan. He's too small. So it's rare on social media to see positivity.
You know what? I also think that people who are positive and really into it are probably not on social media. Or
They don't feel like they need to comment on it, which is fine. So when you're talking about WWE gauging what works and what doesn't work, it's a very bizarre formula that they need to come up with, because if you just look at their social media, it's either I want to see Bailey's Bobs or it's I hate everything you're doing.
Ass. Show me the ass.
So they have a hey, Tim Anger, $30.
Thanks, Tim.
He's getting his mug. It's being processed.
You got to give this guy at least 10 mugs.
You're gonna get 2 mugs. You're gonna get 3 mugs. You're gonna get all the mugs.
I got a question for you too. Well, it's more of a statement, but I was talking with a buddy of mine about this the other day, and the writing, honestly, and like we're usually generally positive, but like it just seems like it's been abysmal lately.
Yeah, it has been abysmal.
And do you think? And this is like my own thought. Do you think this is like a purposeful stay afloat lull because A, they're waiting for the Fox deal. The deal's done. They're waiting for the Fox debut, and also they have their eyes on AEW big time. So it might be, let's just level everything out. Everything's even Steven. We don't have to do anything. We're still selling out arenas. Let's just wait and see what happens, and then maybe kick it up a notch. That's my hopeful thought.
Okay. If I were to go the other side, and this is not something that I would have said about a year ago, because I was always hopeful that there's a positive at the end.
Yeah.
I think they have forgotten how to write good TV.
Okay.
I think it's gotten so convoluted and so heavy.
Too many cooks in the kitchen.
Too many different ideas getting pulled from here and there.
Plus the network pressure.
The network pressure, which we saw that title was created due to network pressure.
How insane is that?
Imagine that was the best idea.
Oof.
I want to know how many times they pitch Crisley to win the title. I want to know how many times USA pitches. So for people who don't know, USA Network is somewhat in a, not a panic, but they've been more forward with suggesting ideas.
They don't like it to no ratings.
That third hour.
Yeah.
And apparently Vince knew that he had to say yes to something.
Right.
And this was the thing he said yes to, was coming up with a 24/7 title concept.
So weird.
I think it was just like a 25-year-old who's like, hey, you remember that hardcore title?
Yeah.
It was definitely one of those. So
let's get Mick Foley out. And has Mick Foley ever been, in the last 10 years, has he ever been met with such mediocrity and boos?
You know what? It wasn't even him. I thought he delivered. Him. I thought he did a good job. He stumbled a little bit, but he did a good job. The concept of the title, I don't even dislike. I don't think the boos were for the concept. I think the boos were for that hideousness.
Yeah.
So this was the best. So I reached out, and I was told that was a very last-minute belt.
No
to the
shit.
point that there's no side plates.
They were coming off, too.
There's nothing on the side plates.
Yeah.
It's just it's like a weird etching, and it's blank.
I do think they should have just made it a hardcore belt.
You could have just done a hardcore belt.
Yeah.
Call it something else.
Yeah.
Or forget about it. Or Not even announce it now. Give it some more time. Why you could have? There's so many different concepts you could have done.
Mm-hmm.
So many different concepts.
But this also shows you, like, sadly, who they consider the undercard.
Who they can, yeah.
No way,
And it's
Jose,
terrible.
EC3, Titus,
R-Truth,
the Gallows and Anderson.
Chad Gable.
Yeah, it's sad.
It made me
sad.
It's so low. It's so low that Kurt Hawkins wasn't even there.
You're right.
Kurt Hawkins is above this
Yeah.
at this point.
Like, it's so weird. And again, like, we don't generally poo-poo on this kind of stuff, but at this point, it just seems like there's so many cooks in the kitchen. There's so much stuff that, like, Vince will, let's say, and I can imagine it like a corporation. Vince will say one thing, and then somebody will be like, I got to do this. And then they'll it's like a game of telephone where they'll take it, they'll tell this person this, you can't do this, you can't do that. We have to do this, we have to do that. And these guys are languishing backstage doing nothing, you know?
Whose fantasy football championship title was that?
That's
That's what I want to know. No, but in all reality, the concept, in all honesty, I should say, the concept of the title, I kind of enjoy because it'll lead to a lot of cool digital stuff. And since they're going to be polling, they're not going to be posting everything that's happening on Raw and SmackDown as much.
Right.
On the digital side, it kind of lends a hand to seeing what's happening with this. R-Truth has been hysterical with it.
Absolutely.
He's calling it his European title, Eurocontinental title,
So good.
which kind of plays into the whole insanity of this. I'm not poo-pooing on the concept. I do think that title they need to do something with it. It would have been hysterical if R-Truth just found a European title.
Yeah.
And just started walking around and saying he's going to defend his European championship.
That would be really cool. Here's the other thing, too, that I also find very weird. So, like, for the last few years, we have gotten, like, pretty solid storylines between guys. But now it seems like because of all this network stuff and just how the landscape of WWE wants to write its own history, that there are no heels and faces anymore. It's just guys who are dicks, like Brock Lesnar,
Okay.
and guys who
Are hated.
who are cool that kind of do the right thing. You know what I mean? Like, is Brock a heel in the truest sense, or is he just a dick?
I
Think
think
about it.
I think he's just. I don't think he says anything that makes him a heel.
Exactly. His presence makes, like, he gets heel heat, but the character, he's just a dick.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he though?
Laughing and, you know, not engaging. Like, he's a dick.
Well, the good
If
question,
you met
what
a
is-
guy like that in real life, wouldn't you get infuriated?
I would kiss him
Yeah.
right on the nose.
If you were a Seth Rollins type character and you were trying to, like,
But isn't Seth the dick also? And isn't Roman a dick? You know,
Cool-
Roman's a little bit. He's
cool
a cool.
guys.
He's a cool guy.
Cool
Yeah,
guys,
the cool
yeah.
guys.
Cool guys.
I don't know necessarily. I think there's something to be said about like good guys versus bad guys.
Mhm.
I think that's cool, but I do think there's a lot of gray,
Yeah.
which is needed.
Mhm.
Brock, however, is on a weird spectrum,
Both in
Uh,
real life and
both in real life and on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's just a dick. And it's an extension of his personality,
Mhm.
but I think it's crazy to think that is the biggest star they have on that roster.
It's really nuts, don't you think?
Yeah.
And it's like, and he crosses that weird line too of like semi post attitude era into the modern day. And honestly, the dude looks great. He looks like he's not stopping anytime soon. And they love him, you know? He looks like a monster until there's somebody as well put together as him. And Vince has tried, right?
Yeah.
They have tried numerous times to build up that legitimate monster, and it never works out. He's the only one that worked out.
Is he the last? Him and Cena have to be the last major crossover. I guess you know what? Batista,
Yeah.
Lesnar,
Mhm.
Cena are probably the last three major
Mhm.
crossover superstars.
Taker?
No. Taker's way before. I'm saying last,
Okay.
like created by the company.
Okay.
I can't think of who else was created after that era.
Roman. But
But if you were to take Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, who has more popularity?
yeah, 100%.
Mainstream crossover.
Mainstream
It would be
crossover,
Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
And Brock Lesnar looks like a cartoon.
He does look like a cartoon. I think that's also like it's that fine line between like, oh, this guy's a badass, this guy also looks like a cartoon. You love to hate him and maybe you like him, you know? He's definitely got I can see why they put like so many accolades on him, and it's unfortunate too because do you think it's the guys, the boys in the back being stymied by creative because they don't have anything for them, or they're too afraid to pitch ideas, or their ideas fall on deaf ears.
Because it's everything. It's everything.
Because if you're a pro wrestler, you have to inherently be creative with your character, right? To make it to this level. This is the bigs, right?
Yeah. And it's on you. It's on you,
right?
To get it. Listen, Samoa Joe, he has not been held a great hand. He has not been dealt a great hand right now.
Making the most of what he's got, though.
He makes it better than it could possibly be. He's a guy that takes what's given, and he's able to take it and turn it into something great.
Yeah.
Every time he takes that mic, every time he talks, he's done great. He has been squandered.
You think so?
In the mid card, he's not really doing much, right? You have a guy like Samoa Joe on the main roster. He's not feuding with Seth Rollins right now. He gets a placement here and there, but that's it. But the guy does great, and nobody complains about his placement because he's able to get it over. Daniel Bryan's another one. Was given crap,
right,
and he turned it into something great. AJ Styles got over on his own. It was not a plan to have him be one of the longest reigning WWE champions, be two-time WWE champion, but he was able to modify it based on him having that ability. Other people don't have that ability, and you have to position them in that sense. I think you hit the nail on the head. It's everything you listed.
Yeah,
it's everything. It's not just creative is terrible. Well, creative gives you this. You got to work with it. Then you got to deal with management. It's so much. If you don't politic, and I'm not saying just like trying to screw other people over, but if you don't push for that position, it's never going to be given to you. And now they have such a large roster with this concept of not having the guy anymore. It's just everybody. It's even harder.
Plus making your segments count when you're on TV, because they do give people chances. But if it falls flat, chances are you're not going to show up on TV. Like No Way Jose is a good example. Like he was on Raw for a little bit, right? NXT crowd loved him. He did a couple of things on Raw, got the crowd going a little bit, and then it was just like womp womp, and that's it. Now this guy's scrambling for the belt. Another thing that's kind of interesting too is it seems like finally they're rewarding Cesaro. Cool new music.
I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. He's never going to get a
nice
title.
win on Ricochet.
He's never getting the title.
He's never getting the title, but I do think because of his work with the bar, he's getting another chance.
Yeah.
To make it up to the main event.
Listen, Sheamus and him redeemed themselves in that tag.
Absolutely,
they were great. They were really good together. I can't remember a bad match they had. All 18 of them with the Usos in 6 months.
Really entertaining.
Yeah,
big dudes,
big
strong dudes.
So right now, you look at Raw. I don't know. The ratings held in that third hour.
Did you think it was because of that belt, or do you think it was because of that main event?
Both. But you know what though? I was intrigued to stay up and see Foley.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And I watched the third hour at the following day. I stayed up to watch it. So it caught me. It kept me. So we'll see.
The going with the Brock Lesnar thing, like who's a big man that they have now, do you think could be polished enough to hold that big man spot? Because they always relied on Big Show. They relied on Mark Henry a lot.
They got Braun, right? But not,
they cooled off on him, huh?
That big time because they consider him.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I thought it would have been. Mute the thing. I thought.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Secret secrets. Sorry, guys.
This is his penis.
Yeah, that's what he said.
He's a barbed penis.
Yeah. That's the hope with Lars.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the size. Forget about all the craziness that he that's surrounding him.
Yeah.
Not saying that he's crazy, just everything that's surrounding him. He just doesn't have that size.
You know who I would have liked to see on the main roster? I don't know what they're doing with him on NXT. Dan Matha. I got to look into. I'm not as familiar. 6'9",
big dude.
Dude's jacked. He could talk. He does the NXT tours, like the shows. But he's like a big dude, man. Big boy.
I don't think they have the ability to get these guys anymore.
Why not?
Because a lot of these guys were football players, but now you have, or they were other kind of athletes.
Yeah.
If you're a big tough guy, a lot of times you're going into UFC, or if your career ends as an NFL player, there's more future for you to do coaching or talking. Wrestling was the end for a lot of these guys. That was the option. You're not bouncing at the Cheetah Lounge after your NFL career. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's so many things, and I'm not saying not everybody. Everybody's like doing great afterwards.
It's a very old school concept, though.
But the concept of you play football for 3 years, now you're selling used cars for your brother-in-law. That's kind of going away because the NFL's putting things in place where you could become an ambassador. You could talk to kids. They do financial training. They do psychological training. They kind of help you.
Right.
You know, the Mongo McMichaels of the world, they're just sitting home with their money.
But you had
win the Super Bowl.
It's such an interesting like old school thing too, where it's like, I'm done with football, but I'm gonna go wrestle. I still want to hit dudes. You got your Duggins, your Lugers, Ron Simmons. You know, like the list is like Vader. List is like endless.
Man, being a wrestler is tougher than being a football player.
They had I'm sure you know this, but a few years ago, Thor Bjornsson, the Mountain, had a WWE tryout.
Did he
NXT.
really?
Yes. And they were really high on him because the guy's 6'9", and he looks like a mountain.
He does look like a mountain.
He couldn't hack the schedule.
It's tough.
And the training, he was just like, I don't want to do this. And then he got offered Game of Thrones.
Oh, this was before the Game of Thrones.
This is before Game of Thrones, and then he got because of the strongman stuff, you know. But they threw the world at him.
Yeah.
And you know, now he's the mountain.
They want these guys.
Good for him.
Listen, nobody. And also, imagine being like top athletes, like being this freak of nature, and then they're like, hey, by the way, we're gonna sign you at like $50,000 a year, and then we're gonna send you down to Florida, to rot there and learn for years,
and then
maybe you won't show up.
And then when you do get up here, you're gonna be on the road for 300 days.
Sorry,
it's interesting. I mean, like obviously everybody makes it work, but you know, like we'll never truly know unless we work there what's behind the curtain. You know, but lately things have been like popping out.
Yeah, because people are disgruntled and they're talking.
And people are talking. It's very interesting. You want to talk about Double or Nothing?
Yeah, let's talk about Double or Nothing a little bit. Double or Nothing tomorrow from the MGM Grand in Las Vegas.
Nevada.
Big show. This is really a make or break for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Another name for a pay-per-view for them. Double or Nothing, make or break. Right? They could use that name.
They could Quiver on the River.
Yeah.
Any
you want 21? I got 22.
Yeah. Any gambling. Blackjack.
Yeah.
Ace is Wild.
Ace is Wild. So they're setting up the stage.
Mm-hmm. Looks good.
You know, guys, let the show happen first before we start talking about how crappy this show is.
People can see the future.
You know, people are just let the show happen. You don't have to dislike something just because you dislike. You know, you want to dislike.
Yeah.
Let the show happen. If there's honest criticism, be honest about it and be critical. If the show sucks, to be honest, I'll come on here and say it's terrible. If the show's good, I'll say it's good. If it's great, I'll say it's great.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not blinded by fandom.
Your love of pro wrestling.
I think we got to kind of look at things a little bit differently. If everything doesn't go your way, you don't necessarily have to hate it. You can just say it didn't go my way.
Did you like Game of Thrones? The end.
I don't hate how it ended.
Okay.
I do hate that the season was rushed.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like. I don't hate that it ended the way that it did. I would have liked to see more.
Yeah.
And I guess that's a positive, right? Because I wanted more.
That's a pot. My after my wife's graduation, we went out with a couple of friends and we were talking about Game of Thrones, and her two friends completely like poo-pooed on it. Just like blah 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 blah. And I was like, listen, let me ask you guys a serious question. What would you do to fix it? And what would you do to fix it? What would make you happy?
I would have Greyjoy and Jon marry each other.
They couldn't answer the question. They were like, well, you know, this and this and that. And I think that's with not toxic fans, but it's like a fandom, you know, like what is your answer? What's your answer? You know,
make
it work.
I don't know. Listen, it's over. It's done. And it's not in my life anymore.
Yeah, that's it.
I've moved on.
That's it, baby. All right.
So Double or Nothing. They've had, so during StarCast, during the Road to Double or Nothing, the last one, Brandy at the end says, if you don't like what we do on Saturday, you're not a wrestling fan.
All right.
And people got very upset. And I keep saying, somebody messaged me, like, what do you have to say about Brandy's comments? I'm like, she's marketing her product. What do you want her to say?
Exactly.
She's on camera and she's marketing her product. This is no different than Apple saying, this is the best iPhone ever.
Right.
It is no different. They're marketing the product.
Fans are also getting worked. That's the thing.
I don't want to we shouldn't pick everything that anybody says.
No, absolutely.
You know, the same thing on WWE side, something on this side, same thing on this side. I listened to it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why is everybody freaking out over what Brandy said?
Lack of understanding subtlety.
Lack of understanding. Okay, it's wrestling. Yeah, it's wrestling. You take this much and you make it into this much.
Isn't one of the things that as a fan that you should know is you can't take anything a pro wrestler says verbatim.
I don't take it seriously at all.
Right.
If a wrestler's talking on camera, I don't believe it. I don't believe shoot interviews. I don't believe it's all. They're working everything.
Yeah, but you can tell when there's glimmers of truth and things like that, you know. But for the most part, like, you know, you have to take all that stuff with a grain of salt because it's show business, baby.
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, let's go through the card. So,
Okay.
There's a couple things I do want to add to this.
Go.
There is a big surprise.
Yes.
There is a big surprise.
Yes.
A lot of speculation regarding this big surprise. It is not CM Punk.
Yeah. I saw a big thing where somebody had his schedule where they were like, well, he's going to be here and it's a 3-hour thing. And if he takes a flight, he can make it to
I think he's on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Unless that's the greatest work ever and he is there. But I highly doubt that CM Punk is going to be there.
Can we just talk about the thing that we really want to talk about?
Yeah.
It's okay. So one of the matches on the card is the 21-man casino battle royale, where the winner receives a future AEW World Championship match against Chris Jericho or Kenny Omega.
Okay. Now let's go down the list and eliminate who it will not be.
Not going to be Sonny Kiss.
It's not going to be Sonny Kiss.
It's not going to be Brandon Cutler.
Not Brandon Cutler.
Ace Romero.
Not Ace Romero.
Glacier.
I hope that's the main.
Imagine.
You know what? I want it to be Glacier. I want it to be Glacier versus Chris Jericho on the Nitro set, just so the internet blows up. All right, it's not Glacier.
Pillman Jr.
Not Pillman Jr.
Sunny Days.
Not Sunny Days.
MJF.
Okay, let's keep him here.
Okay. Joey Janela also.
Let's put him here.
Dustin Thomas.
Not Dustin Thomas.
Billy Gunn.
Not Billy Gunn.
Jimmy Havoc.
Not Jimmy Havoc.
Michael Nakazawa.
Not Michael Nakazawa.
Jungle Boy.
Not Jungle Boy.
Isaiah Cassidy. Mark Quinn.
Nope.
Luchasaurus.
No, not the Luchasaurus.
Sean Spears. Perfect 10.
Perfect 10. Sean Spears.
Put him on the side.
I'll put him on the side, but I don't agree with it. Okay.
Versus TBA. So it's four.
Out of all the three that we have, I would say MJF.
Yeah. I'd go
From that group, right?
MJF or Joey Janela. From that group.
That's not in the plans for Joey.
Okay.
They have a whole different plan for Joey Janela.
I think like the big rumor is there's two rumors which I really enjoy. Since the Battle Royale is happening and big stakes on the line, right? There may be a couple of surprises. The big thing could be Jon Moxley.
Okay, Jon Moxley,
right?
Pac still,
right?
Okay, I'm still going with Pac.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, do you want to touch on that really quickly? I just want to say everything that's going on.
Yeah, go for it.
A lot of people are putting blame on AEW and they're putting blame on creative control and all this stuff. A lot of this has to do with the fact that he's Dragon Gate's champion, and this is the dispute with Dragon Gate more than it is with Pac.
Mm-hmm.
They did have the match that they were going to have at Double or Nothing.
Yeah,
it wasn't that great. It was okay. It was an okay match, but it wasn't mind-blowingly great. So maybe it's better that it didn't happen that way. So you put him in there, and he wins. And he says, I'll cash in at it whenever I want.
Right.
I'm not going to go based on your time. I'm going to go based on mine. So now I have number one contendership, and I'll pick whoever I want. Maybe I'll pick Kenny. Maybe I won't.
I think that's an interesting choice. Also, like, the other thing that happened, because of that, Hangman is left without a match. So the other rumor is either it's going to be Hangman versus Mox, or Hangman's going to win the Battle Royal.
Hangman is going to win. Oh, maybe Hangman will be in it, too.
Yeah.
Okay, so you move Hangman in there. Mox, Pac. Who would the other one be? I think it's going to be a comedy character.
CM Punk.
Hornswoggle.
Colt.
No, Hornswoggle.
Hornswoggle, all right.
Okay. They're going to have one. Two of them are going to be legitimate. Two of them are going to be throwaways.
Okay. Flip. Or Slip Hurt.
Flip is under Marty.
Marty, is he still
Where's
under
Marty?
contract?
That's something I don't know. I was told
Very
his contract ended at the end of April.
Fantastic.
I was told April 20-something.
Where's my camera, by the way?
Oh, the HDMI is dead.
Broke it.
Yeah. I got so mad.
It's going to be a fun event. So that's I think that's going to be on the pre-show, just like they did last year with All In.
But do you want to waste Moxley on a pre-show?
No.
That's part of the problem here, right? Like, you also have to talk about placement and what's smart. The big unveil is John Moxley if it is him. I'm just saying, we're just speculating.
Right.
I can't see them positioning him in the opening match on that's on the free show, right?
Yes.
Okay, on the free show. And now, okay, you got here.
Yeah.
Now everything after that is going down. Even with Jericho Omega, my hand is a little
put
too.
Put your hand down, man.
Let's go here. Let's go like this. Let's go here. Even if you're Jericho and Omega is like the main thing, you just unveiled Moxley.
Right. No, it's I agree with you. I think it's going to be an interesting thing. Hangman, maybe. Blah, blah, blah.
I'm getting. By the way, I'm getting the replay of this.
Yeah, yeah, man. That's why I was like, stop it. You saved yourself. The other pre-show is Kip Sabian versus Sammy Guevara. I like Sammy Guevara a lot.
Okay, that might be a great match. It's a cruiserweight match, right?
Yeah.
Is it for the cruiserweight title for the AAA?
Doesn't say.
Okay.
The best. All right. So the other matches on the card are as follows: the Best Friends, Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta versus Angelico and Jack Evans. It's gonna be a good match.
That'll be a flippy match.
Yep.
Okay.
6-woman tag team match: Aja Kong, Yuka Sakazaki, and Emi Sakura versus Hikaru Shida, Ryo Abe, and Ryo Mizunami. So you have like a bunch of Jushi Pro.
Mizunami's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Aja Kong is the big pop.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. You have the Bucks versus the Lucha Bros. Very excited for this match, and this is for the AAA World Tag Team Championship.
I say Bucks lose.
The Lucha Bros win?
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
You know what? Put them over.
Mm-hmm.
But because I think Penta's going to be a big single star there.
Absolutely.
If you want to move people around, I would take Phoenix and put him in the cruiserweights because I know that they're going to have a cruiserweight division and have him really become like a top flippy guy for them, and then move Penta over to feud with the Jerichos and because that program is happening. Jericho Penta is happening.
So good.
Because remember, he wore his outfit and All In. It's all connected there.
Cody versus Dustin. I'm excited about that.
You know what? I love that.
Yeah.
I think I'm not expecting this to be the best match ever, and I expect it to be a very old school match.
Yeah.
They're gonna do their father's style. You know?
Yeah.
Do
they just hit each other with bionic elbows?
By the way, they are gonna do the bionic elbows. Definitely, that spot's happening. I'm excited for it, and you know what? It will be a. You got to also decide, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the elite. So now you have all the guys in the elite.
Right.
They can't be the baby faces.
Right.
Right.
For the whole thing.
For the whole thing. You are gonna get the MJF and Cody feud.
Excited about that.
You are gonna get a Jericho Cody feud.
Right.
You can't have them all baby faces.
Yeah.
So
Jericho has established himself as a heel. Did you see the debut of his new finish?
It's
a Judas elbow. It's a back spinning elbow.
That was AJ's elbow, right?
No.
That clocked him in the head.
I don't think so.
When AJ would do the boom 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 and then the elbow.
Yes and no.
And he like clocked Jericho. And he clocked Miz in the head.
It was the end of the sequence of moves.
Also, can I throw something at you?
Please.
The last time a match was called in the ring in WWE,
CM Punk, John Cena.
No. AJ Jericho.
Really?
Okay,
that's cool.
That there was not because there was like a problem. Just we'll call it in the ring.
I also want this event to have unscripted, in your face, just hard camera promos of dudes yelling.
We are gonna get that.
I want that so bad sometimes. I watched the Dark Side of the Ring Macho Man episode the other day, and I watched it with my wife, and we're both like, God, it's so good.
By the way, I hated that. That was the worst one for me.
It was it just gave you all the information you knew already.
Yeah.
You know? But when they cut to like just the camera, they don't do it anymore. The camera zooming in on the wrestler's face as he's talking.
Really seriously.
Like I wish we got that.
You want me to piss my pants as a kid? Zoom in on Jake Roberts.
Oh yeah,
cutting a promo.
yeah, frightening.
Yeah. What else do we have?
Britt Baker versus Nyla Rose versus Kylie Ray.
And this is not for no title.
No
right?
title.
Okay.
In a 3-way
All right.
match.
That could be good. That could be terrible.
I'm going Britt Baker.
She's going to be the big star for them.
I think so. So Callens, and she probably does all the dental work.
Media friendly. Yeah, you break your tooth, she pops back in.
So Callens censored Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, and Scorpio Sky versus Strongheart, Seema, T-Hawk, and Elle Lindemann.
And that's the Chinese company, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And the main event, singles match, winner faces the Casino Battle Royale winner in a future AEW World Championship match, Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega. I'm thinking Jericho takes it because Jericho needs the win to go into the Okada match.
He beats Okada, wins the AEW title. Too.
Delicious.
I'm kind of into that.
He shows up in Japan with the AEW title. No, actually, no, never mind.
So they are having problems with Kenny
In
New Japan.
Oh, okay.
They removed him from the alumni section now
because he's gonna be another. He's going back.
I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with him. I know that there's a problem with the schedule, and you know, now you got to think about your brand more than anything else.
Yeah. I think the dude is probably the most healed up he's been in forever at this point.
All these guys are.
Yeah.
All these guys are. You gotta, Cody got the surgery that he needed.
Mm-hmm.
Bucks have not been killing themselves.
Oh my God.
They could hit the gym a little bit though.
Okay.
You're getting on network TV. Just
Heavyweights, man.
Start working the weights. By the way, they are doing drug testing in AEW.
Awesome. That's really cool. I'm looking forward to it. I hope it's as good as All In. I was thinking about All In this morning. I was like, All In was one of the best pay-per-views I've ever seen.
Yeah, this is a great test for them because here's the thing. You got to budget up a pay-per-view.
Oh, I'm sorry. One of the TBAs probably has to be Joey Ryan.
Yeah. Joey Ryan.
Big old peen.
Okay, so I said two comedy characters, right? So if we're going to go, okay, Joey Ryan is the comedy.
Yeah.
Hornswoggle
and Joey Ryan are the comedy.
Maybe not Hornswoggle, but I would like Hornswoggle.
Road Dogg.
I'm watching Jericho right now, training.
Mm-hmm. The Judas elbow.
He looks like he got in a little bit of shape.
Looking good, man. That dude is a rip right now.
It's that vodka, man. It bloats him up. Chris, listen, I have the same problem. Bloats you. No, his arms look great.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. His hair, I got to analyze that hairline a little bit.
Yeah,
I have to send it in for analysis.
Are you looking forward to this?
I am. I really am. I'm very excited, but I'm looking forward to any fun wrestling. You know what I mean? Like, I hope they're able to pull this off technically without the problems. They're going in. This is not Turner's not part of this, by the way. Turner Sports is not helping with this. So this is a big test.
Yes.
To see
if they can do it.
In what capacity they could pull this off. The last one was Ring of Honor.
Yep.
And a lot of Japanese influence. This is they're on their own. They have hired some great people to work on this. There are some TNA guys, former TNA guys from like when they were doing some cool stuff. So the fact that they can pull this together will say a lot about the future of the company and how their TV presence is going to be and how it's going to look. I hope their audio. I sent someone that I know's there. I was like, do me a favor. I was like, make sure the audio sounds good.
Yeah.
Because you always have problems with the commentators.
Yes.
Jim Ross is calling it.
So excited.
Sassafras. I hope he does well.
Who do you think is going to be Jim Ross and Excalibur?
Jim Ross, Excalibur, and come on, I know the name. Mark.
Tony Schiavone.
Come on, MG Geek, throw me the name. God, Marquez.
Okay. Renius Meister, the fact that Andrew and Rich haven't mentioned Hogan in their fantasy, but he's one of the TVAs.
Can you imagine? He is one of the TVAs. Imagine if Hogan shows up. We are going to get legends.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? Maybe DDP will be in that Rumble.
DDP.
But DDP in there.
Kevin Nash, Scott Hall.
They're under Legends deals.
Whoever's not under a Legends deal. Is X-Pac under a Legends deal?
I don't know.
Instead of Pac, maybe Hangman fights X-Pac.
Hangman versus X-Pac. Another Pac. Yeah.
There you go.
You know what? They could be like, no, Pac is here.
Yeah.
We got 6-Pac.
Ugh.
Who owns 6-Pac?
Probably X-Pac.
You think X-Pac owns 6-Pac or WWE owns it?
I wonder what
Marvez, not Marquez. Jesus Christ.
What are the legends that are not under contract who would be cool
Tommy Dreamer.
in this. Dreamer, absolutely. Bully? No, Bully's under Ring of Honor, right? Rob Van Dam? That'd be awesome.
Okay. So on the other side, right? To kind of criticize, AEW's not going to come out as the greatest wrestling company to start to ever be on TV. I just want to remind everybody of this. Set your expectations realistically, or else you're going to be set to fail.
Yes.
This is a brand new promotion.
Low expectations.
Okay, we don't really have anything to go based on it. I'm very excited because it's new, and I want there to be another product that I genuinely enjoy watching. I don't hate watch, and I don't want to hate watch this. And to kind of, and I want to ask you this, okay?
Sure.
This is a great gauge.
Ask away.
There's a lot of comparison here to TNA.
Yes.
Okay. By the way, they did do the weird TNA set from the early days with the spirals.
Yes.
Did you see that? There is comparison here. The only honest comparison that you have, in all reality, is that it's another wrestling promotion.
Right.
It is not the same wrestling promotion. It's not the same people. There's nothing of similarity to TNA other than the fact that they're in a point where competition is needed and the talent is out there.
Yeah.
And they're going to attempt to put on a wrestling product. That is the only difference between TNA. With that said, what was your opinion when TNA started? Do you remember when they were saying, like, oh, there's a new promotion opening up?
I would get the penny pay-per-views.
You would get the penny paper. Me
And
too. Yeah.
I would be like, yo, this is awesome. Like, these dudes are awesome. And it was all just like work rate.
Yeah.
Jeff Jarrett. You know, and like a bunch of cool stuff. Ravens here. And then I'm like, I go into everything I like with very low expectations.
Yeah.
You know, just because I don't want to, and we've all been there before, when you're like, oh, I hope it's good. I hope it's good. I hope it's good. And you want it to be so good that when you finally see it, you're like,
that was it.
I'm disappointed. You know,
It'll be, if you don't set a realistic expectation, it'll end up being the ending of Game of Thrones for you.
yes.
That's how I see it.
You need
it.
optimistic, low expectations.
Yeah.
You know,
Let's talk about
Goldberg versus Undertaker.
Goldberg versus Undertaker. Let's talk about the Saudi show. Daniel Bryan's not going. Kevin Owens is not going.
And Aleister Black can't go.
Can't go because
his tattoos are offensive.
of religious symbolism on his tattoos.
Yep.
But you have the Undertaker there, a demonic devil worshiper, possibly the undead, and you have the demon Finn Balor.
Right.
I wonder which tattoo Aleister Black has that they looked at and were like, not this guy.
Apparently, it's the back tattoo.
What's the back tattoo?
The back tattoo is Lilith, the goddess of demons.
Paganism.
Yeah.
And that is insulting
I
to
guess so.
the Saudis. Well, they don't, I mean, they are being progressive. They have a Jew on headlining. They are being progressive. This is westernization and progressivism coming to the Saudi government.
Two
guys.
Jews, according to our show last week.
Two Jews. Yeah, Paul Heyman and
Oh, I meant the Undertaker.
Oh, the Undertaker.
Because when he takes off the hat,
yeah,
little yarmulke.
Little yarmulke. Yeah.
Would you lose your mind?
I would love it. That would make me so happy.
I would love that too if just the visual of him taking off the cowboy hat, little yarmulke on top.
Yeah. Guys,
we're joking.
I don't even know what to say about that whole Saudi deal. I've said everything I have to say. You know what's amazing to me?
That they dusted off Dolph Ziggler to go.
Well, yeah, that they're like, what do we do with this Kofi match? Oh,
yeah.
Imagine the continuity here, right? Continuity storyboarding. Brock Lesnar on Monday says he doesn't know who he's going to challenge. He's going to tell you on Monday.
Yeah.
He'll tell you at a later time. Tuesday comes. Dolph Ziggler's now the guy that challenge. So you know he's challenging Seth Rollins unless they just sign him to a match and he still has a briefcase.
Right.
He's like, no, you need an opponent. I'm not cashing this in. You're coming to me. Which I think that'll be interesting if they do it that way and he still holds the briefcase.
I agree with that. I think he's showing up at the Saudi show with the briefcase.
You think he cashes in the briefcase?
Yeah. This is also like, honestly, like this whole Saudi thing is a very weird, tricky, and tenuous situation. And also it's like, I feel like it's so cringy sometimes if you really think about it in terms of like what happened last year and with the journalists and like, that's very unfortunate stuff. But Yeah, this is a good card.
I mean, the fact that 9/11 and the
Yes.
bombers were all Saudi nationals. I mean, there's a lot going on here, guys.
There's a lot going on. My theory from last year was that they were gonna kidnap everybody.
That's the plan.
Okay.
I'm not gonna poo-poo on this, but I'm not very high on it.
Right. I'll watch it. I'll get it. I'll do what I did last year. You know what I did last year? I got a big sandwich and I got some beers and just watched it. Kofi versus Dolph. I think that's interesting. They're gonna reignite their feud from 2011.
Great.
Roman versus Shane. Great. Finn versus Andrade for the IC belt. Do you think he shows up as the Demon?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Braun versus Bobby Lashley. You got the big guys. Great.
Okay.
Goldberg versus The Undertaker.
That's the main event.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Is that the main event?
Has to be.
There's also a 50-man battle royal.
50-man battle.
50-man, and also Triple H versus Randy Orton.
Is that the biggest battle royal they've ever done?
I think they did that last year at the World's Greatest Rumble.
Was it 50?
I think it was 50.
Okay.
But this is a battle royal, so I'm assuming everybody's just in the ring already.
Yeah, that's the problem.
You know, Triple H versus Randy Orton. Fascinating.
Yeah.
Everybody, do you think people are going to do their best, or do you think it's going to be kind of like we're phoning this in?
I think people are just phoning this in.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people are. Oh, so Kevin Owens, you said, right? It was Kevin Owens,
Daniel Bryan,
Daniel Bryan, Aleister Black, John Cena. There was one
Yeah.
more. I can't remember. NXT 25. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, sure. What's where is it?
In Bridgeport, Connecticut, at the Webster Bank Arena. Here are the matches for this. It's going to take place June 1st, so next week. I got a busy week here.
Oh my gosh.
Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole for the NXT Championship. I think this is a great point to put the title on Adam Cole.
Uh-huh.
Shayna Baszler versus Io Shirai for the women's title.
Take that belt off Shayna.
Okay, take the belt off Shayna.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Johnny and Adam Cole match?
I honestly think if you are a wrestling fan and you want wrestling, just keep watching NXT. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Johnny versus Cole
Phenomenal.
is going to be ridiculous. Every takeover has been balls to the wall, effing amazing.
You could also see that they kind of their plans got wacky here with the shake up and everything that happened.
Yeah.
Because you did the blow off angle
Right.
first, and now you're doing a singles match.
Right.
You know?
So I honestly, I don't want to see Johnny Gargano on the main roster. I don't want to see Adam Cole on the main roster. I want these guys to just make NXT its own big thing.
Yeah.
You know, to the point where maybe NXT, I don't know if I want them to be on TV. That'd be kind of cool.
What, this match?
No, just NXT on television where they're like,
Might happen on FS1.
Keep the wrestling show. Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch versus the Street Profits versus the Undisputed Era versus the Forgotten Sons.
Okay. The Street Profits are not great.
I love them.
I do too.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen them two times at Evolve.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
They are
Montez Ford.
there's nothing special about them. You know what? They are a great WWE tag team.
Okay.
There's nothing that sticks out as far as ability in the ring to me.
Said the same thing about Heavy Machinery until they got to the main roster, remember?
Heavy Machinery? I said the same. Well, what are they doing with Heavy Machinery?
Well,
Nothing.
There's nothing now.
They're a great WWE tag team, though.
Okay.
Oney Lorcan, Danny Burch, I don't know. Undisputed Era, I could see them doing it back with them. And then if you really, the Forgotten Sons, not bad.
I think because it's a ladder match, I think the Forgotten Sons would be a good choice.
Okay. I'm okay with that, too.
Velveteen versus Tyler Breeze for the North American Championship.
Put the title on Tyler Breeze.
I think so. He deserves it.
Let him. Is he staying down there?
I hope so, right?
Me too. I hope he does.
It's like going home for him.
I hope he stays down there. But in reality, I think Velveteen's going to beat him, and then Matt Riddle, Roderick Strong. They're going to kill each other in that match.
Absolutely. It's
Good test for Matt Riddle on the main roster, right?
Oh yeah.
For the main roster.
Yeah.
It would be a good test for him.
Again, do you want Matt Riddle on the main roster? Do you want anybody
Honestly,
on the main roster
by
anymore?
looking at no, I don't want anyone on the main roster. By looking at this card, 5 matches. Are they going to add a 6th?
Nah.
No.
2 hours, man.
Okay. By looking at this card, there are 2 people that stand out for the main roster to me: Velveteen Dream,
Boom,
and Matt Riddle.
Okay.
That's it. Everybody else lost in the shuffle.
I think they'll get lost in the shuffle on the main roster.
Adam Cole, however, if he goes there,
Mhm.
it's either they do nothing or he becomes a tremendous star there,
I can see him going to SmackDown and they'll heat him up and cool him off.
like Andrade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then Andrade's getting heat up again.
It's crazy.
There was that rumor that apparently Andrade went to Vince's office and said, "Hey, I want to push," and then Vince said, "Learn more English," and he did. And now he's getting
They have coaches for him. I was gonna say I thought he maybe spit in Vince's face.
F you.
Is that how we said it?
F you. He's French, actually. It's big. It's like
Yeah.
like Chief J Strongbow. He's actually like an Italian guy. Like Andrade's actually a French guy.
Guys, submit your questions. We're gonna be answering your questions now. Submit them our way. I know a lot of you did it on Twitter. You could do it in our chat room on YouTube. I'm very excited for this weekend. I'm looking forward. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take a page out of the Rich book.
Was that?
I'm gonna get my wine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna enjoy, partake, and then I'm gonna get a big fat hero.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna watch Conrad talking at StarCast for 5 hours.
That sounds awesome. Where's this hero coming from?
I don't know. Where should I get? You know what? Christina's.
Where's that?
Cherry Valley.
Ooh,
Next to Cherry Valley.
Okay.
I want a big, fat,
Yeah.
greasy Cherry Valley
little
sandwich.
Little salt and vinegar.
Little salt and vinegar.
yeah. That
I
sounds
want the
good.
Bushman.
That
Or I
sounds
could get
good.
it from Press also.
Oh,
Press
yeah.
195 in Bayside.
I'm not big on their cold cut sandwiches.
Dude, I had
They're okay.
a ridiculous Colca sandwich there.
Oh yeah.
I got to tell you the secret.
Yeah, what's the secret?
I got to tell you the secret. I'll
got
tell you off the
the
air.
semolina.
I got to tell you off the air.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, also, if you want Matmen merch, we got a couple of things you could do. Go to prowrestlingtees.com/MatmenPodcast. They got I think they have a special this weekend. I don't know if I could confirm that right now because I got to look it up. prowrestlingtees.com/MatmenPodcast. I believe there's a sale that's going to be going on this weekend. Yes, from May 21st to the 27th, 20% off. Use code SPRING at checkout. Guys, we have Matmen merch there. We have some awesome shirts there.
Mm-hmm.
Go support the show by going there. Also, cheersbyjessica.com. You can get your Matmen mugs, wine glasses. We have an Enchante wine glass there.
Beautiful.
We have an Enchante wine glass. We have some other ones that, some other wrestling related stuff. But for Matmen, we have the GFQ, the old school, the GFQ OG GFQ mug in the NWO styling. We have Enchante. We have the guys from Queens mug. We have the wine glasses. You could go there, order it, and support the show that way. Of course, subscribe to the podcast. We're everywhere podcasts are available. We're on YouTube. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. You know how it works. Tim, 2 mugs. You know what, Tim? I'm going to send you 2 mugs.
Beautiful.
I'm going to send you 2 mugs.
We got a question
Yes,
from
let's go.
Harry Turjanian.
Wait, Harry Targanian?
No, we have a question from Harry Tarjanian. Why isn't Harry Tarjanian part of AEW? I will hang up the phone and listen to your answer.
Is that what he said? Harry, why isn't he in Game of Thrones?
Harry, I want you to be everywhere.
Where did he ask this?
It's in the YouTube chat.
I don't see Harry Targanian.
You don't see it? He's like right there. You need glasses.
I don't see
Straight
Harry.
up.
Oh, there's Harry Targanian.
Straight up, you need glasses.
The owner, Harry Targanian, the owner of Capital Wrestling.
Amazing.
Every time they say Targaryens on the show,
Uh-huh.
I say Harry Targaryen to my wife,
Uh-huh.
and she finds it not amusing anymore.
Oh,
The
yeah.
first 3 times when I said, "Oh, I know him, Harry Targaryen," she found it really funny because she was a little drunk. Now she's mortified by that joke.
Adamant about not laughing.
She hates it.
Megan W., if Shayna drops the title, does she come up and take Ronda's place and feud with Becky? I think that ship has sailed. Again, I don't think anybody should be brought up to the main roster until the Fox stuff.
MG Geek says, "Can we predict a buy rate for Double or Nothing? 500,000 buys? Nope. Nowhere near 500,000.
2 buys.
If we're talking pay-per-view buys,
He said I meant 100,000 buys.
Oh, 100,000 buys.
Yeah.
What did Double or Nothing do? What did All In do? Do you remember that, Rich?
I
gotta look at that number.
I'm not.
I'm the numbers guy.
After the show last week, I complimented you on being a numbers guy with this stuff because I can't count. I also can't read. So
I want to say All In did around 25,000 pay-per-view buys, but that's pay-per-view buys.
right.
I don't know what the streaming numbers were.
What? Okay. You know what? Explain to me and the audience what a buy rate is.
Okay. Buy rate is viewership per purchase.
Mm-hmm.
So if a show does, well, there's different. There's ratings and there's like remember during the Attitude Era they would be like, well, Raw did a 4.8 rating,
Right.
and WCW did a 3.2 rating. That's not viewers.
Yeah.
Remember, nobody was talking viewers at that point. It was it was all about the rating.
Mm-hmm.
Ratings are done by overall household percentage that have access, that are watching. Like, you watch old TV shows, like from like 40 years ago, and they would have like a rating of 98.
Yeah.
Meaning like everybody watched. So it's done a little differently. Buy rates are accurate where per purchase. So about 20,000 people purchased all in. Interestingly enough, the year that New Japan was on pay-per-view, 36,000 purchased.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
So I don't know that but it wasn't also available in other ways. So kind of levels it. I know that there was an estimate that they made $1 million in pay-per-view sales. I don't know how that's calculated.
Cool.
I didn't even know if that number is accurate. I haven't been able to confirm it. So I anticipate the pay-per-view buy to be, I'm going to say via pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Actual on-demand pay-per-view. We're going to look at about 28,000 buys. If we're talking between Fight TV, right? Fight TV? Fit TV? Fight TV.
Fight TV.
And BR Live, I would say maybe all in all, they could do a 125.
Okay.
I think 100,000 is a very realistic target. It's very difficult to gauge because this is the first of its kind.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting when the numbers come in. Can we do this real quick? Thank you.
What are we doing?
Phone home.
Did somebody request that? Did
No,
they tip us?
I just requested that.
Hey guys, if you want to tip us to touch tips again, you could do so by hitting that dollar button.
Okay. So, what do we got here? I got a question based on Eric Pizzano's statement. Eric Pizzano says $55 is a big ask for a startup company. Do you agree with that?
Okay. So I'm going to tell you how this works also.
Please.
That is not... Yeah, I know. You hate the numbers. You hate numbers. The number is not set by them.
Yeah.
So everybody's saying like, well, WWE, you could buy 5 WrestleManias technically. Right? Every year you can't and get 5 WrestleManias. It's not the same comparison because WWE owns the platform that they're broadcasting on.
Okay.
Chris Harrington, 99 cents. There we go, buddy. So half the cost, remember, the cost of operations, airing, rights, all that stuff is incorporated in this cost.
Right.
And the pay-per-view provider is adding their tax on there. Double or nothing. It's 60. If on a good split, 60-40. 60% goes to the pay-per-view provider, 40% goes to AEW. So now with me telling you that, what do you think is the fair number? AEW is making less than the pay-per-view provider, and I'm sure it's the same on Fight TV or on BR Live. They create the bare minimum cost. So maybe their bare minimum is $35.
Right.
And AEW makes the rest for them to make $20. That's
All In was 40, right?
Yes, but it was only available. But it was also available on Ring of Honor,
right,
and New Japan and pay-per-view.
Now, last year they did the package, right? It was like $75 for the whole thing for StarCast and All
I don't
In?
remember. I remember it was obscenely expensive.
Oh, it was
for
like $100.
StarCast. It was like $100-something.
How much is StarCast this year?
$50.
So it's 50 and 50. So the package would be 100.
About
okay.
I think so.
That's not terrible.
I think it's like about 50 or 55 or 45, something like that.
Honestly, like I think you know what it is. Like I think if you want to watch it and get together with your friends, and you have 5 friends, make them all give you $10.
Yeah,
and it'll be a lot of fun.
But you know what I mean? Like it's not the price isn't them being greedy. It's the price that the providers are setting because they don't own their platform.
Yeah,
like WWE.
Louis Lamberty, or is it Louis? I have trouble with that name. Louis. Is Sasha Banks still with the WWE?
Yes.
Sorry for the stupid question. It's not a stupid question. Yes.
And for every day she's not there, there's another day added to her contract.
You think she's just on vacation?
I think she needed a break.
You think she's going to go back to NXT?
No.
I feel like that would be such a great move.
No. She would hate it there.
You know,
StarCast is $59.99. Okay, $60.
Give us your questions, everybody. Whether they be just shout them at your computer and we'll somehow hear them.
Realistic buy rate for Double or Nothing. We answer that.
Yeah.
Let me go to Twitter and see if we have anything there.
It is Louis.
It is Louis.
Mhm.
You both married doctors. Lol, how? We got him young, baby. We locked him in early.
We went to a church and they married us.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
They said, "Oh, what are you looking for? Doctor or lawyer?"
Huh?
Isn't that?
I didn't marry my wife when she was a doctor. She became one while we were married.
Yeah. I got a question for you. What do you expect from today's show? From Saturday.
I expect to reflect on today's show and say, man, that was fun. What do I expect from Saturday? Saturday, again, no expectations. I want to see it. I want to watch it and be entertained. I want to experience the same highs that I did watching All In. I want to be like, man, these guys are doing it. Man, the wrestling is great. God, everybody's cool.
Yeah. I think that's a good response.
Everybody's so cool.
Charles says, I was hoping for $25. I hope there's a replay for cheaper. $25 would be a realistic price if they set the prices.
Mm-hmm.
If they were in control of the price and profiting. There's a lot of cost that goes into traditional means, and there's a lot of cost that goes into digital. And when you do not control your product and there's leverage for money to be made, the companies are going to kind of push that leverage to make that money. Guys, do you think AEW will announce a partnership with New Japan during Double or Nothing? That's a wonderful question. I do not expect it, but I do expect there to be a partnership. What do you think?
I think there's a partnership in the future. Maybe, who knows, man? There's so much is up in the air, and plus the whole Jericho thing, I think is fascinating. That how he has the open-ended contract, he can show up anywhere. Jericho could show up in the Impact Zone if he wanted. At this point,
Jericho could show up.
You know, I think it's coming. I think New Japan's probably waiting to see how this does, and maybe even to see how the show does, because there is nothing better for their American expansion to have their guys on American television, right?
It's great exposure for them, but it's more beneficial. Actually, you know what? It is a mutually beneficial thing, but you got to not fall into that trap that Ring of Honor fell into. Right? They fell into this terrible trap where they depended so heavily on the Japanese product, where they didn't commit to storylines and build a product.
And they got gutted. Their talent got gutted. Why does Vince love Corbin's? Oh, real quick, I'm sorry. During the playoff game last night, they showed a TNT bumper.
Yes,
I'm sorry, a Double or Nothing bumper.
Marv Alberts mispronounced Chris Jericho's name, their biggest star, which I thought was hysterical. Chris Jericho.
Shin, why does Vince love Corbin so much? He's a big dude. He played football. He's a Golden Gloves champ. Vince sees potential in this guy, and I think he's throwing him to the wolves to garner that. Yeah, nurturing it. You know, he's honestly he's a big guy that's kind of worked out if you think about it.
Corbin.
Yeah,
I think that's how they justify it.
Because they put him in a big position early on.
I check out.
Eventing.
I check out. I know.
Main eventing house shows.
And that's a problem for me.
With Seth Rollins holding up the title. You know?
I check out every time.
I think he's getting that Universal Championship within the next year and a half.
You know what? He is the same as Ziggler for me.
Okay.
I could probably do... Okay, pick one.
Mm-hmm.
Ziggler or Baron Corbin?
Baron Corbin.
You pick Baron Corbin over Ziggler. You really dislike Ziggler.
I'm not. I'm so
turned off.
Milk toast. I have been. I mean, the guy's great in the ring, but there's just something. You know how sometimes you meet somebody and you're like, I don't like that guy. You know.
What match will be first to kick off Double or Nothing? I believe it's the Rumble, right?
Yeah, the Battle Royal.
The Battle Royale. I think that's it, guys. We're out of here. I hope you enjoy Double or Nothing. If you are an AEW fan and you want this to do well, I highly suggest buying the pay-per-view and not bootlegging it.
Yeah, don't bootleg
if you hate AEW, go ahead and tweet all you hate about them.
Right.
And get some joy out of your life by doing that. I don't know.
Give us your kisses also.
I'm going to give it, one more card. What is the cheapest option to purchase the pay-per-view? I believe it's BR Live. I believe BR Live would be the easiest way. Yeah. All right, guys, subscribe to us. We're everywhere podcasts are available. Whatever podcast app you have right now, make it super easy. Go to your podcast app.
Right now on your phone.
Pocket Cast, if you're using iTunes, or you're using Google Music, or you're using Spotify, whatever it is, go there, search Matt Men Podcast, and hit the subscribe button. And we will be delivered through the digital airwaves to your phone every single week. Like butter.
We're gonna I think I got something fun that we should do. I want to tell you off the air.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do have one huge story.
Okay.
That I told Rich this morning. I'm not going to talk about it today. And this is a very big story.
The Hornswoggle thing.
I want to say, and the reason why is if I say it now and it doesn't happen, I'm going to be called an idiot because people can't realize things change. If I say it now and it does happen later, nobody will remember that I said it now, and they'll still call me an idiot for speculating that this is happening.
I think
it's not happening.
You have a good track record of being right with this stuff.
I try not to look like an idiot. That's the key here. Yeah. I try not to look like an idiot. I will probably in a couple of weeks, if we do a drinking show, I will say what this big, humongous thing was.
Did you get it from a verified source?
I did get it from a very verified source.
Okay.
Yeah. A verified source that has never lied.
Really?
In his life. Never.
Is it
George Washington?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He traveled to the future just to watch pro wrestling?
That's it, tell me. By the way, I don't want this to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen.
It is not not happening. What I was told is not happening, but I thought it was fascinating.
That there was an attempt.
That there was
an attempt made.
Maybe.
Something.
Very
we're just gonna talk around this for the next minute until you guys go completely nuts.
You know what? You guys, I was not gonna mention it, but Tim Anger gave $30, and I thought I would leave you guys with to speculate.
Are you gonna DM him and be like, Tim, this is what I'm talking about?
No, I can't. I can't ever say this.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'll be disconnected.
So now let me ask
you. They'll disconnect me from the source.
Is it Mets fan forever?
It's Mets fan forever.
I don't know if you guys remember Mets fans forever, but he used to drop inside knowledge on the WWE every chance he got. Who do you think that was?
I think we found out who it was.
Yeah?
Yeah. They unveiled who it was. There was a couple of those guys on Reddit, and they were all right.
I feel like it was Brian Gewirtz.
There was another one.
Yeah.
That I guess I could say. This guy was on Reddit, and he dropped all this information about AEW. I know his source.
Okay.
Because we had the same exact source.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And this guy disappeared. Like, it started, like, he dropped all this stuff.
He disappeared, right?
Yeah, a little.
Somebody,
one of those.
Somebody took out the garbage.
Yeah. No, he like, disappeared, but he was somewhat of a troll, so it was hard to kind of believe him. But everything he said was exactly what I was told as well.
We got one more question.
Yeah.
Blue Eyed Prince asks, Andrew, how do you join the Patreon Discord chat?
Very easy. MG Geek. Load a link in here.
Load a gun.
Load a gun. Yeah. You know what I'll do? I'll drop a link in the chat for anybody that's interested in joining the Patreon. I'm sorry, not the Patreon, the Discord. I don't want it to expire, so let me generate this code. Let me copy this code, and I will drop it in right there. All right, guys, let's get out of here. Remember, subscribe, follow us, Matt Men Podcast everywhere. BTC Rich, at Andrew Zarian. Enjoy Double or Nothing. Have a great holiday weekend in the United States. If not, then have a regular weekend.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
baby. Later.